Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Bolton. I am a Tupperware director with the Diamond Stars Tupperware team. And I want to take a couple minutes today to show you and tell you all about this fabulous product that Tupperware has to help you keep your cupboards or your pantry organized. And it's called the Modular Mate. So this is one of the 4 main systems that Tupperware has. And so these containers can be used basically for any they're used for dry goods. So anything that you put into your cupboards, crackers, cookies, rice, oatmeal, flour, sugar, chips, brown sugar, these containers are fabulous to keep all of your food fresh. So I'm going to tell you, there's probably 3 main reasons why these this product, these containers, should be in every single cupboard. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that. So number 1 reason is space efficiency. So what Tupperware has tried to do is they created containers that help you use all of the space in your cupboard. There's no wasted space. So how they do that is they help you conserve space from left to right, from front to back, and from top to bottom. So there's 4 for this particular size. I have 2 sizes here that I'm going to show you. These are rectangulars, these are super ovals. These are my 2 favorite sizes. They're the sizes that I mostly recommend to people unless they have a smaller cupboard someplace that they're trying to fit, maybe in a trailer or maybe above a microwave, and the cupboard is really quite small. Then I would recommend the ovals and the squares. But otherwise, I tend to stick to the super ovals and the rectangulars because it's just more bang for your buck. And I find that most cupboards handle and work well with the super ovals and the rectangulars. Okay, so circling back, these are the rectangulars. And so there's only 4 sizes in the rectangulars, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So they're all the same size from front to back and from left to right. The difference is the height. So you can see that each one gets progressively higher. So how this works is if you can do simple math, you can figure out how to stack these so that everything is level. So you'll see a 2 and a 3 make 5, and a 1 and a 4 make 5. So you can see how this is level in your cupboard, right? So same with a number 1 and a number 3 adds up to 4 is level with the number 4. So, and a 1 and a number 2 is level with a number 3. So you can see, and you can just replicate this throughout your cupboards to try and keep everything level so that you're not wasting space from top to bottom in your shelving as well. Now most houses, they have newer shelving and you can adjust it to wherever you want, but in some old farmhouses, I know we just recently redid our kitchen, so we have newer covers, but we had older shelving before where it was pretty stationary, and we could not move the shelving. So most shelving in older houses, or in most houses, will fit a number 4 rectangular, and some will even fit a number 5 rectangular. So our number 5 super oval. Okay, so continuing on, these are super ovals. So these are basically the same. They stack the same way, except that there's 5 different sizes in super ovals. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the tallest one is number 5. It's the same thing. You just, everything adds up to 5. So if you have a 1 and a 4, that's the same height and it's level with the number 5. And you have a 2 and a 3, and it's level with the 1 and the 4 and the number 5. So you can see that this stacks nicely, right? Okay, so the second main reason why you would want to have these modular mates in your cupboard is freshness. So I don't know about you, I want my food to last as fresh for as long as possible. I don't want to go to the grocery store any more than I have to. So keeping our food fresh longer is really big right now. And these containers are your number 1 solution. They keep everything fresh for way longer than normal if you just left it in the original packaging. So, like I said, brown sugar, they'll keep your brown sugar soft. I know that one of the other directors on our team shows some brown sugar that she's had in a container for well over 12 years, and it's still as soft as the day that she put it in there. So that's just a testament to how well these containers work. They're virtually airtight, so anything that you put into here is definitely going to stay fresher longer. And let's face it, when we're putting stuff into our cupboards, I mean, like you can see in this modular mate right here, I have this filled with all of my prepackaged gravies and mixes. So if they were just on their own and just sitting on a shelf, they'd be very messy and disorganized. It's nice that they all fit into one container. Everyone knows that they go to this container to find any of the pre-mixed gravies or soups, and everyone knows where to get it. And I know that because they're in this container, they're going to stay fresher longer. So that's an added bonus. So the third reason why you should have modular mates is bugs. Now, I don't like to talk about bugs. I don't like bugs. I don't know too many people that do like bugs, but I definitely don't like bugs in my food. So, they do, it is something that happens. They come home with you from the grocery store. So the one type of bug that comes home in wheat products is weevils. So you can't see them. You don't even know that you have them. So you bring food home from the grocery store. What they do is they live on the glue in the packaging in your whatever you happen to bring home. So like all around your cereal boxes or in your cracker boxes, and the bags, there's glue, and they actually live and feed off of that glue. So, you know, on the top of sugar bags and flour bags, there's glue, the big glob of glue that holds it shut. So they actually feed off of that glue. So did I see a demo? Someone had said that they live off of the glue on the back of a postage stamp for like 30 days. So they can survive a very, very long time. So the bonus is that when you put, so let's say you buy that bag of flour, it has weevils in it. You can't see it, you don't know that they're in there. You put them into this container, you seal it up, you put the lid on properly. Because it's airtight, they're gonna suffocate. So they're all gonna come to the surface so that when you go to reopen that container, they're all dead, they're on the top. Well, most of them are dead, sometimes they're still alive, but most of them will be dead, or they will be dead eventually. But the bonus is that you actually see them and you can just throw that container of food, whether it's flour or sugar, you can actually throw it in the garbage. So you haven't actually consumed that or baked with it and fed it to your family with the bugs in it. And as well, they can't escape from this container. So they're stuck in this container. So while that's gross, yes, you're only out the cost of whatever the food product was that you had in this container. So they're not infecting your whole entire pantry. So, I mean, we buy food bits and pieces at a time, so we don't really notice it. So, you know, if you had to throw out, you know, a $4 bag of sugar, that's, you know, not much money wasted, right? But if, let's say you didn't have it in this container and those weevils escaped and they infested everything in your pantry, that could be hundreds of thousands, right? Hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars worth of food and dry goods that you'd have to completely throw out and start all over again. So there is a definite bonus to using these containers, because those bugs, once they get into this container, they're never going to get out. As well, similarly, they can't get into these containers because of the way the seals fit onto these containers. So if you have bugs in your pantry, they're not, or pests of any kind, they can't get into these containers. So I know sometimes we have problems with sugar ants in the spring. We know that they cannot get into these containers and are not going to infest all of the food that we have in these containers. So that's a bonus. So, and a lot of times they ask me for recommendations what I would use a particular modular mate for. So obviously sizing is a guide as to what you would put in there, but there's lots of different things that are the same size that you would put into it. And depending on whether you're a scooper, if you like to scoop your products, so you like to scoop your flour, you like to scoop your sugar, I would suggest that you put them into rectangulars, just because you can fit a scoop in there, you can scoop it out. For ovals, they're more for things that you can pour. So crackers, cereal, oatmeal, stuff like that you can actually pour out. And we have pour-all seals as well that you can switch out depending on what you put into your super ovals. And they work well for if you're going to actually be using food products in your super ovals that you're going to be pouring. So like oatmeal or cereal, a pour-all seal would work really, really well. So now I've shown you the different sizes that are available in the modular mates, and I've told you 3 main reasons why you would want to have these containers in your cupboards. I didn't mention, which I should probably mention before I finish this demonstration, is that another really handy feature of these modular mates is the fact that you can actually see into them. So I find that extremely helpful because if you have children who tend to eat the food and not tell you that it's gone, you can actually tell at a glance what's being eaten the most, and what is disappearing and what needs to be replaced oftentimes before it's gone. So it's very helpful. It saves you a lot of time when you're making your grocery list. You don't actually have to open containers and go through everything. You can just see at a glance when everything's stacked neatly. You can tell I'm getting low on sugar, I'm getting low on crackers, or those crackers are gone, I have to refill those. So it's really, I find it really, really helpful when I'm going through to make my grocery list before I go to the grocery store. I don't want to be going back to the grocery store over and over and over again. You would want to go back there as little as possible. So that's really helpful to help you stay organized and not miss anything when you're running out of your food products. So next I'm going to show you my pantry. It's still a work in progress for a little bit of it, but I will show you how far I've gotten. Okay, so welcome to my pantry. We did a little bit of remodeling we live in an old farmhouse, and we did a little bit of remodeling. So we this actually used to be an office. This part of the kitchen used to be an office, and this cupboard used to actually be a coat closet, and repurposed it and remodeled it to be a pantry. So this is definitely a work in progress, but you can see I love modular mates, and I use an awful lot of them to keep my food fresh. And as well, I take all of the outside packaging off of my food and put it immediately into my modular mates after I get groceries. So I know that my food is going into a container that's been clean in my home, and so that when we're going to grab our food, we're not touching the packaging from the grocery store. So you can see I have all of my dry goods prepackaged. Noodles and rice are in one container, and then I have my prepackaged gravies and mixes and soups in another container. I have many different boxes of crackers because all of my kids like different kinds of crackers, so it's possible with modular mates to have them all open at the same time. Everyone gets to eat their kind of cracker. Nothing goes to waste. It all gets eaten, and it stays fresh until it does get eaten. So that's an added bonus. So I also use my modular mates to keep my coffee pods in for my coffee maker, and granola bars. So you can see I keep rice and all of my pasta, of course. Who doesn't keep pasta in their modular mates? And so on the top shelf, which I like to keep out of my eyesight, otherwise I like to eat it all myself, are these snacks. So this works really well for snack food. So you can see I have Tostitos in one, and I have that delicious popcorn from Costco in another one. And so when you fill up these containers, I don't have to worry about when I buy the big bags at Costco. I could just put them into my containers, and I know that they're not going to go bad before we've eaten it all. So there's my pantry. As you can see, it's still a work in progress. But I definitely do use modular mates as much as possible to help me keep organized and to keep my food fresh.